Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the sign in the title below because this is a bulk introduction. As ever, there'll be a timestamp down below so that you can watch more than one and get past all my waffle. Because I'd like you to watch your sun, your moon and your rising, especially rising. Sun and rising, most importantly, moon as well, because that can influence sort of the way that you're feeling, the more internal inside stuff. But anyway, on I think it's 30th of June, so Monday, the second of 3 Jupiter Pluto conjunctions go exact. So at the moment Jupiter is retrograde, so it's gone past Pluto, it's coming back again, it's going to go straight past, and then later in the year it's going to go past again and conjoin one last time. So we're in the middle of the story. I've already done the readings because I often think after I go through the zodiac readings, I normally do the intro first, then do the readings, and then I'm like, oh, I want to do an epilogue. I want to do a comment on the themes that I've seen coming out. So I thought, well, why not do the intro second? It's very much we are being tasked to work. We are taking things on board. Our roles are being made clear to us. And when I say that, they're being made clear to us by us or the planets, but it's not like it's getting imposed in from on high. It's all like activating soul contracts and all the hippie stuff, but you know, it's where you feel right, where you have the ability to take power in your own world and just work hard. We are all going to be working the land. Now, just a note, from Aries through till, I didn't realise until Sagittarius, so Aries through Scorpio, I got the houses sort of wrong. So unless you use an equal sign system and your sun, moon or rising sign is 24 degrees or past, where I said the first house, it would, where I said the second house, it would be the first. Where I said the third house, it would be the second, and so on and so forth. But I'm sure there was a reason for it because I sat down and I worked it out, and then somewhere along the line it got mixed up. So ignore what I say about houses in terms of the astrology, but don't ignore it in terms of the reading that I give you, because there will be a reason for it. There will be a reason that, you know, it's either not going to affect the reading at all, or it's going to help me shape the reading that I give to you. As a general reading rules apply. You know, roles can be reversed, timing's hardly absolute, and hey, this one's going to last us till, I think it's either October or December, the next conjunction. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's December. You can ask a question before this reading, so if you want to do that, pause the video, think about all the questions that are around you, be aware of all of them, pick one of them, focus on it to put energy into the process, and hopefully I will return that energy to you. And if I don't, the universe will somehow. I am not going to guarantee that your question gets answered, or that the question you choose is the one that gets answered, because the cards will answer what they want and not necessarily what you and I. So that's why I say be aware of all of the questions. Now, what I am going to do is read the symbols of this degree. So from inside degrees, 24 degrees something is the 25th degree of Capricorn. And in inside degrees, the image is a woman wearing a mask made out of butterfly wings. Now that immediately leads me to, okay, wearing a mask, adopting a role, hiding something, fighting crime, you know, because of course I would think that way. Butterfly wings, transformation, spirituality. You know, it's literally a mask composed of souls, which can be a good thing. I would hope it's a good thing. You know, it's like taking on board the qualities and the duties and responsibilities of civil rights campaigners who passed before us, or environmental activists who passed before us, whoever. So, a woman wearing a mask made out of butterfly wings, wrapped about in customary trappings, made to look and act the part superbly, programmed to do everything on cue. Taking yourself in hand and subordinating all other factors to ambition, power and worldly position, in a premeditated, systematic, super-orderly fashion, fitting the role. So good at this you fool yourself. The perfect wraparound setup of simply turning yourself into what everyone needs to see. There's definitely two ways you can interpret all of this. The perfect wraparound setup of simply turning yourself in is what everyone sees, yeah. But because there is so much manipulation and control in it, this can become highly corrupted. It all depends on the motivation. At best, you will become a viable role model for a given set of characteristics of an advanced kind to be embodied perfectly. But at worst, you will deceive and beguile and manoeuvre so smoothly that no one will know who you serve, who your master is, and where this all comes from at all. Now, Astrotheme says it is in an amphitheatre, an arrow is shot by an invisible hand. So it's taking aim, practice. It's the manoeuvring of spirit in your life. I could waffle for ages, especially that mask one. There is an element of fake it till you make it. There is an element of do not deceive yourself. There is an element of I can see that this needs to be done, and I can see that this is the person I need to be in order to get it done. So have a look at each reading, see what you think. Obviously, I'm going to ask you to like the videos if you do like them. Subscribe if you like what you see, because the subscribes and the like buttons really do help the video and the channel irrespectively, sorry. And comment, because it's always good to receive your feedback. Sometimes YouTube is a bit slow to alerting me that I have the comments, but you know, I will get back to you sometimes as late as 3 weeks later, but I try to do it quicker than that. I really do. But in the meantime, I think that's everything I've got to say. Oh yes, down below, details about the reading, obviously, details of how to contact me, and a link to a Facebook group where I post these videos and the astrology videos I watch, and various other things that I find of interest. So I don't really use the community tab, but one thing I would ask with this one also, I'm thinking about starting to do live streams, so let me know if you're interested in that. And obviously I'm still working on, although I haven't done any for a week or so, Chinese and Western zodiac combinations. So again, comment and let me know if there's any I need to put on my list. All right, I'll bring up the cards. And welcome Gemini Rising and Gemini Moon after the timestamp. And if you are indeed Gemini Rising, then this is occurring in your 7th house. This is the area of your life which is all about long-term significant partners, romantic, business or family. Now that puts an interesting spin on what I see in these cards. There is, well, to put it bluntly, there's conflict coming. But it looks to me like there is conflict coming which you are in a position to manage. You're nearly there. 9 of Wands. Keep going forward. It's almost like this conflict is a final obstacle to get through. We have 9 of Wands, 5 of Swords, so there's the conflict. And finish up with the 7 of Swords. So there's an element of strategy. Now that is echoed by very much in the middle. We have Master of Flames from the Starseed Tarot, clarified by the Emperor. taking charge, taking action. Taking actions that last, that are judged, that you are only going to take them because you know they will be effective. However, that's not necessarily an easy decision. Whatever you have been working on where you are nearly there, I get the impression that you are presenting this to the world as an almost finished product, so to speak. You know, it's you've done loads of the research, you've done loads of the background work, you've done a lot of the thinking, whatever it is that you need to be doing, and you've announced, right, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, this is all the work I've done so far. But with this Seven of Swords, and here we have the Seven of Spheres, which is about two people discussing the wisdom that they have received, and you notice that behind them in this card there's a tetrahedron. So there's the sacred geometry implications of that, but basically divine power. And the outline of a double cube, which to me looks like a drawing of a hypercube, i.e. a 4-dimensional cube. But there in the foreground, there's somebody who's not listening and looking around to get their wisdom from somewhere else. And it looks like they're almost checking as if to go, you seen what's going on here? So there is, whatever it is that you are planning, there is opposition, but there is opposition to be faced and to overcome, you can make a choice to face up to this. The Lovers clarified here with the Seven of Wands, but I do believe that there is a source of good advice around you, potentially female, but certainly there's a source of good advice around you that's going to, now this is clarifying the Eight of Orbs. Now I like this Eight of Orbs card because we've got all of it is the Eight of Swords when all said and done, but we've got a woman in a robbing mask in Swamp Thing's swamp, communing with the power of nature is another way that I look at it, especially with clarified by this prophetess. It's either someone around you is going to give you good advice that causes you anxiety because, oh sugar, I hadn't thought of that, or you are having the anxiety and someone's giving you this good advice around you going, yeah, but if you do that, this and this will happen, and that's good. So there is, I do feel that there's someone, if there's someone in your life that you know to respect what they say because of their uncanny ability to see through to the truth, whether they are nice about it or not. You know, there's this prophetess of moons is not always an easy person to get along with. But you can also syncretize her with beings such as the Oracle of Delphi. However, what I am feeling here is that she's being a lot more direct than the Oracle ever was, with the Oracle speaking in verses that the priests would then interpret, and, you know, level after level after level. Much like, now all of this is from the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. All of these cards are associated with quatrains of Nostradamus. So let's have a look what this one is. Cold, dryness, danger around the borders, even where the oracle had its beginnings. So wherever you first got this idea, this person who can advise you well is linked to or associated to where you started developing this idea. So that could be you had the idea in a coffee shop and it's someone who works there or you met there, or was with when you had the idea. Or it could be that they had inspired something they had said, had led you on a train of thought. This is not their idea that you're doing, this is yours. But they are tangentially associated with this somehow. But I love these central cards. The Master of Flames, that's the King of Wands. But again, there's this real image here of divine wisdom coming in. You know, whether it's spiritual guidance, whether it's something that came to you in a dream. There is this new project that you're working with is something that you have been, not just, yes, you've come up with it yourself, but you're also being inspired. And there we have Mercury retrograde in action again. I don't normally get affected by them, but it seems this time, with it being given that extra oomph by the eclipse, I'm getting affected by it. So, as I was saying, it is your idea, but you've also, there's an element of being inspired by spirit. There's an element of, and when I say inspired by spirit, it's not that some entity has come along and plopped this in your mind. It's that spirit have whispered into your ear going, remember what you came here to do. So it is your idea, part of your plan, part of your soul contract, to use a highfalutin term. But you have options in front of you at the moment. You have to be strategic about which options that you take. And I do get the sensation here, we've got 7 of Cups with 6 of Swords. So it's almost like the options that are closer to home are maybe not the best options because we have this conflict brewing. And that whether you take this further away from home or you are doing it at home, you are going to meet with some resistance. But you're actually going to be quite victorious on this. But I do get the feeling that the transplanting it out of your usual standard environment and into a new environment, because these ones fell out right at the end, and beautiful selection of cards we have here. I'll come to these in a moment, but this is why I'm saying this. Take it from the environment that you was necessarily going to do and relocate it to somewhere else. You know, this might be as simple as if you was going to open a shop, if you find that there's a shop that you want and you're finding problems with it, then you will probably find a better location further away. So even though it's further away, it's a better location, and there will be more sort of serendipity that will be around it or something like that. But I do feel that you are being encouraged, even though you are announcing this is what I'm doing, you are automatically receiving resistance. And I think that you need to take what you're doing and put it in a new environment, because that way leads some wish fulfillment. We have 10 of Cups, better than wish fulfillment, clarified by 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. You know, that's quite beautiful, that. And seen, let me hold them closer for you. Excuse me. Now, the reason that I get, we've got the Lovers here for that choice of, yes, facing the challenge, but controlling it, being strategic about it, not revealing everything that you are intending, that you are planning to all and sundry. Be careful who you tell, and be careful what you tell, but tell enough. Certainly tell enough to the person who can see potential pitfalls, and listen to the person who gives you reasons not to be anxious about it. But the supplementary message that fell out of the, well, on the bottoms of the deck, we have Adept of Flames, which is Knight of Wands. In the Aries video, I said it was King of Wands. It's not, it's Knight of Wands. But that's surging forward. With the Chariot, Death for change, the World. So we have, and the final one is the Four of Moons, which I'd have to look up. But it just strikes me about that element of divine guidance again. But we have a motion card, change card, and the world supporting that change. Now, in this supplementary message of the cards that fell out, if you paid any attention to the shuffle video while I was waffling on, we start with the Ace of Wands. So that's, again, that surging ahead motion, followed by Queen of Coins. Whatever it is something that you are having to nurture. The Fool, new beginning. Nine of Wands, very nearly there. It's a balancing act to get there. And it may well be that things don't look quite as they are. Which again, that's another aspect with that Seven of Swords. There may be some lies that are out there that are causing you anxiety, but transplant yourself out of that environment. So even if those lies were true, or even if they are untrue, it doesn't matter because you've moved it somewhere else. 10 of Wands, now what I'm getting with this is, yes, it's a burden that you're taking on, but there's an element of service here. There's an element of, this is the right thing to do, this is what I want to do. I really feel like this lady picking up the wands here, no one's told her to do it. She's not feeling compelled that she has to do it. She's doing it because she believes it's the right thing. Ooh, I will save these for later, or some such. You know, there's... and then finally at the end of that, the Empress. So we're seeing that bountiful harvest come around. And again, the Empress here is sat between two pillars, much like the High Priestess would be. So I'm feeling there's a correct path for you to negotiate. And the thing is, if there are statements that are causing you stress, get yourself out of the situation, do what you was going to do somewhere else. If there's conflicts and opposition to what you was going to do, go and do the thing somewhere else. And then that conflict becomes irrelevant. So I hope that means something to you, Gemini. Comment down below if it does. Sorry about the technical snafu in the middle of it. Let's see if any more happen. It is baking hot here today, so I think my electronics will go crazy, but I'll do what I can today. Yeah, comment down below, like, share, subscribe. I no doubt said that in the introduction I haven't filmed yet. And good luck, because although I said with that 10 of Wands, it's a matter of service, it's a bit like the oxygen mask on an airplane. You're serving yourself first, and that enables you to serve others. But first, you are coming into your authority. You are taking charge, and that is the important thing here, which is a really, really nice reading for you, Gemini. Despite the lies, the illusions, the conflicts, that is a really nice reading. Best of luck with whatever you're up to. Cheers.